My name is Mpumi Nobiva. I am my ancestors' wildest dream. I was meant to end up as a domestic worker in life. My grandmother cleaned houses she could never own. But that is not my destiny. I am going far.
Move the forces of this world, and I've learned that we're all the same. Everybody wants to connect. Everybody wants to feel connected. And so I've learned that sharing stories is the best way to bridge the divides that exist in society. And I think that my purpose, what I've learned, is to be a voice, to be a conduit for both worlds and bridge those experiences so that the haves and the have-nots can realize that we are all one.
Yes, Nelson Mandela did our country so much good, but Winnie Mandela was on the ground facilitating that movement, making sure that the world knew that Nelson was in prison. Winnie is the reason that everybody outside of our borders knew that a man, our leader, was held in captivity, and that if people don't know that truth, then we could risk losing him the same way we lost Stephen Biko while he was incarcerated. The reason the movement survived was because of that woman and how she facilitated on the ground. That's the narrative of South Africa.
From Canada to the Dominican Republic to the United States, there's no place I will not go as an African child.
And she calls me, and she speaks in Xhosa. She says, "Mntanam umama uzotshona," which means, "My child, I'm going to die."
I was 9. I never knew what AIDS was. We were living in abject poverty, and my mother was diagnosed HIV positive. And then she was about 25, and then she was gone by the age of 27. And that was the first experience I had with the virus and then the disease, and how much of a tragedy it is and how it strips away your dignity, especially if you're living in poverty, where it's you, your grandmother, and the person who is dying right there.
My grandmother was in her 50s, and she's illiterate, so sometimes we'd really want to help my mom, but we wouldn't understand. We wouldn't understand how to help her or like what's going on, because when a person is HIV positive, they can have so many different illnesses. So medication that worked 2 weeks ago might not work anymore, might not be strong enough because now she's got bronchitis or she's got TB and that sort of thing. So it was hard.
Much attention into this?
Today, she shares her story on various media platforms. Invited to UJFM to share her story, she shares her sentiments on what kept her going.
My grandmother has always been such a dedicated person. She's always worked hard, and she's never made any excuses in life, you know?
Ngiyawazi umsebenzi wakagogo wona ukuthi umsebenzi obalulekile kodwa onzima ukho lula. Akukho lula ngoba uba umzali ube umama ube ubaba wenze yonke into ekumele ngabe iyenziwa abazali bethu.
Umzali sisilo babalulekile. Lamntwana kufuneka uzenze zonke into afuna akholwa uba unga imfuno zakhe.
With all she has achieved now, Mpumi came back to thank her grandmother for bringing her up to be the woman she has become. She invited everyone that contributed to her life.
That's definitely worth living for.
She is a proud graduate and can't wait to come back to South Africa after completing a master's to serve.
uThixo waveza uOprah. uOprah wabasoloko esecaleni kwethu ekuthwele kuze kube namhlanje.
It is the pain of being you that is the power of being you. That is a message I learned from Bishop T.D. Jakes. Essentially, everything that you ever aspire to become, you already are. You actualize it. Whatever you create that God gives you, all you must do is channel it. Give yourself permission to be who you've always wanted to be. I'm so shocked that it happened, but deep inside you will always know that that was my destiny.
pausing. Pause and get in the moment of now. This is the only moment we have. Everything that's happened in the past is gone. Everything that's happening that we want to happen in the future has not yet arrived, so that's not promised. The best way to live is in this moment, in the power of this moment, which means the power to create, the power to show up, the power to come through and deliver and execute. Honey, the power to just slay all the dragons, okay?
Nova Scotia, baby!
Courage is ours.